Oh howdy all, grab yourself a drink, it is time for some PathOfExile discussion. When patch 3.22 came out, there was a new unique item that had not previously been announced, and this is one of those really interesting ones because it is a budget version of Ashes of the Stars. This is a drop anywhere unique. And a quick aside on the item's rarity, I currently believe this to be tier 3 rarity, the same as Cold Iron Point and Heat Shiver, but I'm not willing to lock that in. It could be tier 4, I can't rule out being the same rarity as Goldrum, which is about 5 times as common as a tier 3 unique. We'll get more information on this over time. Despite having replica in its name, this is not a heist replica. This can drop from any content in the game, albeit probably with a minimum level that we'll work out over time. And additionally, there is an enormous amount of variance between different copies of this item. A quick side note for those of you in SSF, this is not really an SSF friendly item. It's not that you can't use it. If you get very lucky and you get something that fits your existing build, or if you get one that inspires a new build, then maybe it's worth your while. But in general, this item is going to shine much brighter in Trade League than it's going to shine in SSF. It has a number of various mods that you would expect to see on an item. 10 to 15% to all elemental resistances, 10 to 15% increased reservation efficiency of skills, which is a very, very powerful stat, very important to have. It's got the implicit 10 to 16% to all attributes, and then a further mod that can take a little bit of pressure off your attributes, especially in a league like Trials of the Ancestors, where they're under a bit more pressure than usual because tattoos are so good. Items and gems have 10 to 15% reduced attribute requirements. But the big thing on this is the first mod, +3 to the level of a randomly chosen skill gem. Now in my case, I was able to pick this one up super cheap because it's Searing Bond, which is a skill not all that many people are using. However, if you're looking for a meta skill, Hexblast ones in particular are very, very, very expensive. Hexblast gains a lot with gem levels, and at the time I'm recording this video, a Replica Dragonfang's flight with +3 to the level of Hexblast is trading for almost 10% of a Mirror of Kalandra. I don't expect them to stay quite that high, but they will be in demand all league because Hexblast is a very strong build, and +3 to the level of all Hexblast gems is a huge boost. The more on meta your skill is, and the more that it scales with gem level, the more that Replica Dragonfang's flight ends up being a really, really powerhouse item for you. So let's compare this to some of the alternatives, shall we? The first logical comparison point is to Ashes of the Stars. In a lot of ways, this is a replica version of Ashes of the Stars, even though it's not called Replica Ashes of the Stars and it doesn't come from Heist. Ashes of the Stars is generally speaking going to be better. Ashes of the Stars rolls higher on reservation efficiency, and it also has +20 to 30 to quality of all skill gems. And whilst quality is not a powerhouse stat on all gems, there are a number of gems that it is absolutely massive on. And on some builds, this is as good as having an entire extra link, except that that link is forced to be Enhanced level 4, or if you've got 30%, it can almost be as much as Awakened Enhanced level 5. Now, not every build wants to use Enhanced level 4 or Awakened Enhanced level 5, but on the builds that do, Ashes of the Stars is tremendous. Ashes of the Stars also has a really subtle effect in that as well as buffing your main skill gem by 1 gem level, it's also providing 1 gem level to all of your auras, and because it's got the increased reservation efficiency on it, it may also allow you to fit in 1 more aura as well. This is the reason that Ashes of the Stars is the more universal of the two items and more likely to be a powerhouse upgrade. But Ashes of the Stars is a very expensive item, and many players can't afford it, especially this early in the league. And if you're in that situation, as long as you're not playing with Hexblast, then you can probably find Replica Dragonfang's flight in Trade League for a reasonably good price and be something that can be a very powerful upgrade for your character. You can see here that one of the skills that's extremely good at killing uber bosses early, Explosive Trap, you can get a Replica Dragonfang's flight that buffs it for less than 2 divines at the time I'm recording this video. That is 1/10 of the price of an Ashes of the Stars at the moment, and it's also 1/10 of the price of a Hexblast version of Replica Dragonfang's flight. If you're looking for a specific Replica Dragonfang's flight that would work on your build, all you need to do is go to the PathOfExile trade site, and then once you're there, type in Replica Dragonfang's flight, and then in the stat filters, use the tilde, which is shift and the button that's to the left of the 1 key on your keyboard, and then after that type in just the first few letters of each word of the skill gem that you're looking for. So here I'm looking for Searing Bond, and you can see that it comes up pretty easily, and that's the power of using the tilde as a search tool on the trade site. So if we click that and then we go and have a look at what the prices look like at the moment, you'll see that you can get one that's poorly rolled for 100C. Oh, they've actually gone up since I bought mine. And then you can possibly get one that's better rolled if you have a look down. Yeah, this one's excellently rolled and it's 1 divine. I actually got my personal copy for 40C, so it was much cheaper then. But even then, 1 divine is pretty affordable for the amount of power you're getting here. It's cheaper than an amulet that is just +1 to the level of all skill gems, and it's definitely a lot cheaper than a well-rolled +2 one. Ultimately, you're probably going to want to outgrow Replica Dragonfang's flight at some point and replace it with a well-rolled +2 amulet that's likely to be a better package overall, or an Ashes of the Stars, or potentially some build-empowering unique. But that's something you can do when you can afford it. Until that point, Replica Dragonfang's flight is a cheaper item that you can use right now that will get the job done until you're able to outgrow it. I'm going to leave it there. May your Varlobs have interesting results.